Hi, this is Jason Lisk with Pool Genius, and I am here to break down the 5 most popular survivor picks for your 2025 Week 1. Coming in at number 5 is the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals were the most popular pick last year in Week 1 and lost to the Patriots. That may still be in a lot of people's minds. They are coming in a distant 5th this year. They are playing the Browns in Week 1 on the road, so we have a divisional game. We have the road factor, and we have last year's results still in people's minds. The Bengals have moderate future value, but they are a consideration as a contrarian type pick this week against the others that are more popular. Coming in next at number 4, the Washington Commanders. Commanders finished last year strong, surging to the NFC Championship. They start with a division opponent as well, hosting the New York Giants. The Giants will have Russell Wilson at quarterback. A fresh change for a team that was really floundering on offense at the end of last year. The Commanders are being picked in about 14% of survivor pools in our data and are a 6-point favorite against the Giants. The Commanders, like the Bengals, have similar future value. They face a reasonably tough schedule, but do have a few spots where they may be usable outside of this week. Those include Week 3 when they host the Raiders, Week 9 at home against the Seahawks, Week 11 at home at a neutral field against the Dolphins, and then in Week 17 late in the year, depending on how the Cowboys are doing, they do host the Dallas Cowboys. At number 3, Arizona Cardinals are facing the New Orleans Saints. The Saints this year have the lowest expectation in the betting markets. They have the lowest win total. They're the lowest power rated team in most systems. The Saints are starting Spencer Rattler, who did play a little bit last year when Derek Carr was out. With Derek Carr retiring this offseason, Rattler will start Week 1. Arizona opens on the road as a 6.5-point road favorite at New Orleans. They are coming in about 15% popularity, so very similar to Washington. They have a little lower future value than Washington, Cincinnati. Really, the only spot that looks clearly like you might also consider them is in Week 5 when they host the Tennessee Titans, the team that got the first overall pick a year ago. More on the Titans shortly. So Arizona's deal is low future value, probably the team that saves you the most future value, and one you probably need to be looking at and considering, particularly in larger pools that have multiple pick weeks later in the year and where you want to have a lot of good teams available. Coming in at number 2 in Week 1 survivor popularity, the Philadelphia Eagles, opening the season for us on Thursday night against the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys recently traded away their star linebacker, Micah Parsons. There's not much expectation that the Dallas defense will be good, but Dak Prescott will be back on offense. They will have what looks like a potent passing game going against the defending Super Bowl champions. The Eagles are at 15% popularity, similar to Arizona. So a virtual tie for second, and not much difference between Philadelphia, Arizona, and Washington. Philadelphia, a 7.5-point favorite, which has moved up just slightly since that Parsons trade for Dallas, is a slightly higher favorite, but on the other hand, they do have more future value. More value when you may want to consider them in additional weeks. So you may see Philadelphia being a better option in certain types of pools, particularly those that are smaller, those that may not get to later weeks. So the Philadelphia Eagles are your number 2 survivor pick this week. And coming in at a clear number 1 in most survivor pools, the Denver Broncos. We project them at 28% popularity based on the data we are seeing. The Broncos open as a home favorite against the Tennessee Titans. They are an 8-point favorite. That line has fluctuated anywhere between 7.5 and 9 at many books over the last week. Denver does open against the Titans, the team that earned that first overall pick due to their poor record a year ago, but who drafted Cam Ward, who will make his first start against a tough Denver defense. With Denver as the biggest favorite, we've seen that popularity rise. That does lower their expected value or the risk-reward payoff of picking them, but they are still the safest relative pick on the board entering Week 1. Of course, we've seen that come up many times in the past in Week 1, And so you may want to consider diversifying off the most popular pick, depending on how much you want to go with the most popular choice in week 1 of 2025. That is your recap of the 5 most popular picks for survivor pools in 2025 week 1. Again, they are Cincinnati, Washington, Arizona, Philadelphia, and leading the way, Denver Broncos against the Tennessee Titans. Good luck.